Hey guys, my name is Arlicia Jones, and I am the owner and broker of Elite Lending Solutions. We are a Florida-based mortgage company. We are licensed in several states. We opened in April of 2019. I am what you call a women's shop. I have one assistant who works with me, and she is fairly new to the business. And so majority of the things that I do here in my office, I do them on my own. I do tend to use banks that will allow me to self-process my loans. And so we're going to just talk about some of the things that I use as far as tech-wise goes that has made me be somewhat successful in the mortgage industry. A lot of times people ask, Arlicia, what motivates you? And so for me, it really boils down to my family, my husband and my children. You know, I wake up every day and they inspire me to be a better person. And so I go to work every day thinking about the impact that I'm making on my family. And then secondly, my community and how they look to me as an avenue for someone in the mortgage industry in order to help them to achieve the goal of home ownership. And so I know it's not this big glamorous thing that some people may think about when they think about motivation, but for me, really, it just boils down to my family. So a lot of times people ask me about training. What do I do for training? So remember, it's just me. I'm the only one here in the office. I do have an assistant, but she does help me a lot on my clerical things. She helps me keep up with my calendar, appointments, etc. She's going to start next month with UWM and some training, as well as some other processor training as well. So she will start to take on some of that load that I do on my own. And so because I do a lot of the work myself, it's very important for me to keep up with training, to keep up with what's coming out in the industry, to keep up with what's new so that I can, I like to say, keep my sanity, right? Because I have these kids. So one of the things that I do, and it's, is I'm always in my Brokers Are Better group. I'm always reading comments. I'm always reading things that other people are doing in their business so that I can know what's new, what's the latest, and what will allow me to be more efficient in my business. So one of the things that I do specifically is I really am heavy on tech. I really am heavy on making things as streamlined as possible because I answer all of my calls for all of my initial buyers. So one of the things that I do just to alleviate the pressure of having random people call me to have a 30-minute buyer's consultation phone call is I use Calendly. It is a scheduling app that I use to book my appointments for my initial consultations with my buyers, as well as my realtor partners, as well as my title companies. I set a set time throughout the week, every single day, that I'm able to book a 30-minute call with a client so that they can ask any question they need to ask. There is a 2-hour window before that person can book that appointment with me. And I don't allow people to call me randomly to have that conversation. If they do call, they have to book a time for me to speak with them. And I put that in place because I was not getting things done. And I needed an avenue to manage my time a little bit better. And so for me, having a calendar allows me to do that. And actually, I use that calendar for my personal life as well as my business life. I put things on there as simple as who is cooking dinner today in the house. So that's just a little tip that you can use to make your personal and work life balance a lot easier. Another thing that I use as far as tech goes that helps me is I use 3 systems that are integrated with each other. I have went through a lot of LOS systems, and I feel like I finally have the perfect team and match. I use Flowify as my application, my point of sale, so I can capture my loan application from my clients. I use Shape for my CRM, and then I use Lending Pad. I love Shape because I don't even have to really go into that system. It is, and I think that's what a CRM really needs to be. It really just does what it's supposed to do on the back end. As I update my Lending Pad, it updates Shape, And Shape sends out my text messages, my emails, and it keeps everybody in contact with me. Now, one of the things that I do with Shape, and I think everyone should do this, although it comes as a product that's fully built out where you don't necessarily have to go in and do anything, you can just start using it, is I go in and personalize my campaigns a little bit. One of my tricks that I really love is my birthday emails. So I go in and I change the birthday emails to actually make it sound like it came directly from me, like I woke up that morning and sent my client an email. And 90% of my clients respond to the email on a birthday email and tell me, thank you so much for remembering my birthday. And it's a perfect opportunity for me to ask for a referral, to ask for the referral, which is 90% of my business. And so tech, for me, is very important to make things streamlined so that I can use the systems that I have in place to ask for that repeat business. For me, it's referral, repeat, and retention, right? Retain. And it's like a constant cycle of those three things. And so I don't want to always have to remember who my client was, 2 years ago. But one thing that I can do that keeps me in their face is keeping my CRM up to date and personalizing my campaigns so that they sound like they come from me, that they don't sound like they were made, at the company, and that it makes my clients feel like I remember them and they just weren't a sale at the end of the day. So that's one of the things that I do as far as training goes for myself, just to keep me and my business up to date. A lot of times people ask, how do I stay influenced and motivated, and what's my sales tactic? And honestly, I treat every client like family because I look for the referral at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I look for the client that I close out on a loan for to reach out to someone that they know and tell them about me so that I can have that repeat business. And that turns into, like I mentioned, that referral, repeat, and retain. And so that really is my secret. I treat everyone like their family. I look for those 5 yellow stars at the end of the day. And that has allowed me to grow my business with 90% of it coming from someone who has used me before, who has told someone about me, thus in return, causing me to have repeat business. One thing for me that is very important are reviews. I use Ogvote to capture my reviews for me, and they post them to my different social media accounts. So they post them to my Google account, they post them to my Facebook page, and then I also take those reviews and I make posts with Canva and post them to my Instagram because they don't post there. And reviews are so important just to be found by people who may not know you. And so, for instance, I have a story. I had a client call me last week. She found me on Google. She's looking to purchase at anywhere from $500,000 to $600,000 property here in our city. And she found me on Google. She said she read my reviews and she thought, oh my God, she wants to work with me. And so I paid them to send out text messages and emails, and they follow up. So if the client doesn't respond to the text message on the first round, they get another set of text messages and emails at 7 days and 14 days. I think up to 21 days, that client is getting contacted in order to send a review. And then if they don't send one in through my system, I also follow up with them as well and ask for a review. And so I think reviews are very important as well. It keeps you in front of your clients, a part of that technology that we're using, because people are online. People are Googling you before they decide to use you. And reviews are important so that when they do Google you, they find something positive about you online. All right, so this week, guys, I want to challenge you guys to go and take a look at your book of business. Look at where you guys are getting your referrals from. See if you are getting the maximum amount of referrals that you can get from your database. And if you aren't, I want you to figure out what you can do to start a cycle of referral, retain, and repeat. You can do something as simple as changing your campaign email to make it seem as if that email is coming directly from you. And when that person responds, don't forget to ask for the business. And so that's a challenge that I am going to give you this week to do. And then don't forget to let me know if it worked. So why did I join AIME? As a new broker, honestly, it just only makes sense. You have a community of other brokers who are more than willing to provide information to a community of other brokers in regards to the broker industry. There is so much to know in this industry, and one cannot possibly know it all. And so having a community of other experts that you can reach out to, that you can ask questions to, that you can have support from is very important. And so having AIME as an association, having the Brokers Are Better group as a community is so important, especially for anyone who's been in the business and especially for someone who is new in the industry. And so if you are a broker and you are not a part of AIME, I highly suggest that you join our group, that you join the association. This, for me, as a new broker, was, the best decision that I could have made. And I truly believe that it has allowed me to grow and scale my business year over year. And so, I'll close with this. As a new broker, we know, especially if we didn't know before, we know now that tech is important in our industry. With the pandemic, with no one being able to communicate with people in person, or at least that's what we thought it was going to be like and remain that way for such a long period of time, tech is important because it allows us to stay in front of our clients even when we can't physically be there. And so I'm licensed in several different states, and I believe tech has allowed me to be successful in the other states that I'm licensed in, even though I'm not physically there. And so using technology to grow and scale my business has been very important for me. I'm very big on systems and processes, and technology is a way for you to create systems, create processes, and scale your business bigger. It's my hope that you can take some of the information that I gave you today and use it to grow and be successful.